Today, one of these four players will win a fabulous trip to New Orleans as we play America's most popular hidden word game, Boggle, the interactive game. And here's your host, Wink Martindale.
Well, thank you very much, Randy West. Thank you, players. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Boggle, the interactive game. We have an exciting new game now where not only do the players here in the studio compete, but several times during the course of the show, you at home will get a chance to win prizes by playing a game very similar to the one we're playing right here. All you need is a touch-tone telephone. Please stick around for that, will you? Let's meet our four studio players. First off, this is Shelly Morris, a homemaker from Woodland Hills, California. This is Dawn Danoon, a word processor from Moundsville, West Virginia. Brian Ross is a writer from Encino, California. And David Dickstein is a public relations executive from Los Angeles, California. Applaud yourselves. You deserve it. Yes. These four players will compete in our elimination contest until we come up with one Boggle champion of the day. Who will win this fabulous trip?
Today's winner and a guest will fly away to the Crescent City, New Orleans. You'll spend a week at the Maison Dupuis, a unique French Quarter hotel in New Orleans, combining old world charm with today's luxuries, featuring a lush tropical courtyard, heated pool, and exercise facility, the Maison Dupuis. Okay, Wink.
Oh, I love his French. Thank you very much, Randy. By the way, in addition to the trip to New Orleans, we'll also give you a beautiful gold bracelet. All right, players, we are about to start round one. In front of you is a keypad that looks exactly like a telephone keypad. I'll show you a grid of letters that corresponds to that keypad. Hidden somewhere in that grid are 4- and 5-letter words. I'll give you a clue to one of the words, and you'll have 10 seconds to spell it out by pressing the numbers or symbol on your keypad that corresponds to the correct letters. Okay? And bear in mind, you're spelling the answers out using the letters on our grid and not the letters on your telephone keypad. For example, in this grid, if the clue was an actor's role, you would ignore the letters on your telephone keypad and you'd spell out the answer part, P-A-R-T, by pressing the number keys that are in the same position as the letters on our grid. Now, to spell out part, you would press 3 for P, 2 for A, 5 for R, and 9 for T. And let me point out, it's important to remember, in each word, each letter must connect to the previous letter. All right, now that we've said that, one more thing. After 3 seconds, we'll show you the first letter of the answer. And remember, you can only use a letter once for each word, okay? We understand each other? Each word is worth up to 1,000 points. The faster you punch in the correct letters, the more points you score. The 3 players with the highest scores after 5 words will move on to round 2. Now, you at home can practice playing the game by going for the same words that our players are trying to find in our grid, using your own touch-tone phone. Let's get started by looking at the first Boggle board. Here's your grid of letters, players. We'll use this grid to find the 5 words in this round. And the first clue is Comics Detective Tracy. This begins with a D. How about it? Did you push the letters star, O, 9, and 8? If you did, you spelled out the word Dick using the letters on our grid. Everybody did it except Shelly. Shelly had a little problem with that. Remember, you can score up to 1,000 points for each correct answer, and your scores are determined by how fast you punched in your answer. Let's move on to the second clue. Clue number 2 is this. You do it on an alley. Word begins with a B. Good comeback, Shelly, and a good comeback by everybody. B-O-W-L, bowl. That's what you do in an alley. We add these scores to your totals and see where we stand. These are the running totals. Obviously, Shelly, you are behind at this point. Plenty of time to catch up. Just get that answer right and punch in as early as possible. Let's go on to word number 3. Here's your clue. The clue is this, and no play makes Jack dull. Word begins with a W. Everybody push 2, 5, 7, and 8, and you spelled out work. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Everybody got that. However, how fast did you do it? Especially you, Shelly. Let's see if you caught up. Let's add that to your previous scores. Much closer. 1,012 over there, Shelly, and Dawn is second with 1,476. And Brian and David are way out in front. Remember, only 3 players move on to the next round. All right, here is the next clue. Take a look at this. Accountants, H&R what? Starts with a B. B-L-O-C-K. Who are we talking about? H&R Block. Everybody got it. Very well done. Let's add that to your previous scores and see where everybody stands at this point in our game of interactive Boggle. Okay, Shelley, you're still behind by a bit, but still you can catch up. Shelley, that means that you must get this right. You must come in pretty fast on this answer to get a chance to move on. The leaders, Brian, David, and Dawn. Here we go. Final word, and the clue is this. King Arthur's Excalibur begins with an S. S-W-O-R-D, the Excalibur, the sword. Everybody got it. The point is, Shelley, how fast did you get it? Who's going to move on to the second round? Dawn, Brian, and David. Congratulations to all three of you. Shelley, you're about 400 points behind. Sorry about that. We have to say goodbye. We do have some nice parting gifts for you, and our thanks for being such a pretty face on our show. See how easy that is? You want to get in on the fun? Here's your chance at home to be a game show contestant on Boggle and win prizes. Watch this.
It's time for a Family Channel interactive play break. Get to your phones because it's your chance to be a contestant on a game show. Here's your host, Wink Martindale.
Hi, it's time for a Boggle play break. You want to win terrific prizes? Then pick up the phone now and call 1-900-773-5533 before our call-in countdown reaches 0. It only costs $4.98 to play, and it's really easy. We play Boggle by finding 4- and 5-letter words in a grid that resembles your telephone keypad. We'll give you clues to 5 different words. To spell out a word, look at the screen, find the letter you need, and punch the button on your phone that's in the same place as that letter. In this grid, if the first clue was prayers ending, you'd spell out the answer Amen by pressing 5 for A, 1 for M, 2 for E, and 4 for N. And let me point out, in each word, each letter must connect to the previous letter. After 3 seconds, we'll show you the first letter of the answer. You'll then have 7 more seconds to spell out the complete word. Remember, you can only use a letter once for each word, and in order to get credit for an answer, you must spell it out completely. After 5 words, the caller with the highest score combining the most correct answers in the shortest amount of time wins. Randy, tell them about the prizes.
Today's featured prize, Lloyd Flanders Man-Made on the Lloyd Loom. Elegantly styled all-weather wicker furniture. Durability for indoor or outdoor living. Designed to grace any home from Lloyd Flanders. Today's Play Break winners will compete in our weekly playoff for a Holiday Inn Crown Plaza vacation to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And remember our newest edition, Play TV 1, where members only can play for a special grand prize each week. Coming soon on FAM.
It's easy, but don't forget, you need a touch-tone phone, and you must be at least 18 to play. Well, our call-in countdown is almost over. We'll be right back to play our game.
They're Pillsbury's best cinnamon rolls ever. Never been bigger or had so much gooey icing. Never had so much cinnamon taste.
That's one sweet cinnamon roll! Ow! Do you have any theory as to why these Duracell batteries last so long?
I saw a commercial once where the top of it comes slamming down.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, I said, somehow it gets locked in there.
Oh, kind of like a Duracell. No other battery lasts longer. Yeah.
Here he comes.
Coffee?
Cappuccino.
Vanilla cappuccino.
Mocha cappuccino. Make that a decaf mocha.
Okay. Only Maxwell House makes cappuccino in all these flavors.
1 cappuccino, 1 mocha decaf cappuccino. And for you, vanilla.
Maxwell House cappuccinos. The magic without the machine.
Welcome back to Boggle, everybody. And by the way, thanks to all of our players at home. I hope you had fun playing, and I hope you played well. If you didn't get a chance to play that time, we'll be coming up on another play break right after this round. Got another Boggle board and 5 more words now for our studio players, who are Dawn, Brian, and David. After that, we'll be down to 2 finalists who will get to compete in our 3rd round to determine today's studio winner. All right, all of our players' scores are back to 0. We're zeroed out. Here's your grid of letters for this round and your first clue. The clue is famous drummer Buddy Who. Begins with an R. Everybody push the buttons 5, 6, 9, and 0. And you spelled out Rich using the letters in our grid. Buddy Rich, very good. And some good scores, too, with Brian leading the way. Let's move on to clue number 2. Look at this one. The clue is to be absolutely certain. Begins with S. B-U-R-E. Absolutely certain? Sure. And everybody got it. Sure. What else? Brian leading the way once again. Let's add those scores to your totals. Got some close scores here. Wow, look at that. 1089 for Dawn and David, 1064. Brian leading with 1378. Now, let's move on to number 3. Look at the clue. It's paid on delivery. Begins with a C. Everybody got it. They pushed 9, #, 8, and 0, and spelled out cash by getting the letters in our grid. It's paid on delivery. Cash on delivery. C-O-D. Very good. Again, it comes down to who got it the fastest, huh? Let's take a look. We add up the scores. Dawn, you're a little bit behind, but within striking distance. Those are the totals as we go to word number 4. Here's the clue. Police car warning sound. The word begins with S. Easy enough for you at home? How about the people here? They got it. S-I-R-E-N. Siren. Police car warning sound. We add that to your previous scores. Where do we stand now? Is Brian still in the lead? Yes, he is, but we have close scores. Brian, David in second, Dawn in third. So we're ready for our final word. Dawn, that means you must get this right to have a chance to move on, okay? Here is your clue. Important one. Take a look. He said, say goodnight, Gracie. Begins with a B. B-U-R-N-S. George Burns said goodnight, Gracie. All right. Did Dawn get in quickly enough? Let's total up the scores and see who's moving on to our final round. Brian and David. Kind of left Dawn in the dust back there, but it was a good round all the way. So congratulations to David and Brian. Dawn, we have to say goodbye to you. You can put the glasses away now for a little while. We have some nice parting gifts for you, Dawn, and our thanks for playing Interactive Boggle. You were wonderful. Good scores. We'll be back with our finalists to determine today's winner after we give you at home another chance to be a winner. It's easy. Watch.
This is Boggle, the interactive game on the Family Channel.
Yes, it's me and I'm in love again.
It's spring. Start fresh with Jenny Craig's special half-price offer.
You know I love you. Yes, I do.
Lose all the weight you want for half price. Just a $49 program fee.
I need your loving and I need it bad.
Jenny's Cuisine is a required additional purchase. Call 1-800-92-JENNY. Spring won't last forever, but what you learn will.
Now, baby, won't you give your love to me?
Call now.
Welcome back to Boggle, everybody, and thanks to all of our players at home who played. I hope you played well. I know I say that a lot, but I do mean it. Now, if you didn't get a chance to play that, we'll be coming up on another play break right after this round between Brian and David. Got another Boggle board, 5 more words for our 2 players in studio. This will determine today's studio winner. That person will receive that marvelous trip to New Orleans, which is always a fun place to go, those great restaurants. And our runner-up will get this prize. Randy?
Today's runner-up will receive Kawai's 61-note full-size keyboard. Features touch sensitivity and exclusive one-finger ad-lib that lets you play like a pro in seconds. From Kawai. Okay, wait.
All right, our player scores are back to 0, and here's your grid of letters for this round. Here is the first clue. To challenge. Word begins with a D. They got it right. They pushed the pound sign, the 8, the 6, and the 9, and spelled out the word dare using the letters on our grid, D-A-R-E, to challenge, to dare. Good scores, too. This is going to be close. I have a feeling this is going to be very close. Here's the clue for word 2. Try this one. Kellogg's Raisin what? Begins with a B. What else but B-R-A-N? Kellogg's Raisin brand. Been around a long time. Let's take a look at the totals on these scores. Brian's going to be a bit ahead by a couple of 100 points. Everything's still close. Let's go to word number 3. Here is your clue. Second word of many fairy tales. This begins with a U. Did you push 1, 4, 7 and the star?